So the first step in our process of getting ready to apply a finish is going to be smooth planing. If you don't have a hand planer, if you don't have a place that you can plane, this step can be skipped. You can do pretty much everything you need to do with either a card scraper or with an orbital sander and some hand sanding. But smooth planing, I find, takes a little bit less time and is a little bit more effective. And I don't have to waste quite so much money on sandpaper. So I went ahead and marked a couple of spots that I had some pretty deep shop rash. I'm going to try to get rid of as much of that as I possibly can during the smooth planing process. It's easier to remove it now, and then I have less material that I have to take off with the sandpaper. So I've set up my number 4. This is a number 4 smoothing plane. I've moved the frog super far forward and have closed the throat to make for a smoother cut and reduce the likelihood of tear out. I also just sharpened that blade, so it should be pretty darn sharp, and I have it set for an extremely fine cut. When I'm smooth planing, I'm not trying to remove a lot of material, I'm just trying to remove the high spots and get them down to below the tear out. I'm going to start at one edge and work my way all the way over. I'm not going to just focus on one spot. I still want this to be relatively flat, but I don't want to remove more material than I have to. If I notice that one spot is not going away, then I'll stop smooth planing and then I'll switch to my card scrapers, which I'll show you how to sharpen and how to use in a later part of the video. So, my hand plane, for this I usually, on the top it doesn't really matter, I can start off the tails and then push and finish like I normally would finish a planing cut, but on the leg parts where there's some joinery contacting where I'm going to be hand planing, I actually want to not touch those with a hand plane. It'll affect the way the joint goes together, and it may actually make my dovetails that fit nice and tight a little bit loose. So for this is the top. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm going to just hand plane like I normally would. I'm going to rotate my hand plane so that I'm making what's called a skew cut. It's a little bit easier to push the plane, and it gives you a little bit cleaner of a cut because it's slicing those fibers instead of just trying to chop them off. So I'm going to start at this left side and move my way to my right. And it's okay that I'm not hitting all the way across right now. I'm overlapping my plane strokes. I'm just trying to make sure that I can hit all of the surface of the board. You should be getting these nice fluffy shavings. If you're not getting nice fluffy shavings and you're getting some super thick paper type shavings, you're going to want to adjust your plane for a lighter cut. I'm just going to keep doing this until I get rid of most of my shop rash. Because this is a nice sharp blade, it actually leaves a fairly shiny surface wherever the blade is hitting, and wherever it isn't, that's usually a low spot. So I'm just going to keep going until those dull spots go away. Almost there. I still got a couple of spots that I'm probably going to want to take out with a card scraper. that surface looks pretty good. So now I'm going to get set up and I'll come back when I'm ready to show you how to sharpen a card scraper and how to use a card scraper.